nigga forfeit, yeah, cause I'm the realest. Hey, niggas talking short shit, nah, I need $1 million.
Big stepper, yeah, bitch, I be steppin'. Coolin' kit with the flip switch, bitch, that's the weapon. No drama.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access.
This legend, bring them sounds in one time.
I'm hard, and we got you. And that's it, man. Go purchase Big Pat Sports Talk merch and support the family, man. And welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. Thank you for your support. What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with your boy Big Pat Sports Talk. In today's episode, we're doing a reaction to Mr. Stephen A. Smith roast the New York Giants and say they're going to be an epic failure in the 2024 season. So we're going to listen to what he has to say, and then we're going to get to it. And you know I'm going to respond. So Big Pat Sports Talk reacts to the fact. Let's get it. Tom Brady. Good Lord.
That's what I'm saying.
Tom in front of a crowd of New Yorkers. That was Tom Brady with Stephen A. on this weekend's Fanatic Fest, and his words very foretelling when he spoke Friday. Daniel Jones returned to the field on Saturday for the first time since his ACL injury and was less than impressive. He threw 2 interceptions on back-to-back possessions, including a pick 6. Just want to mention quickly before I get to you, Stephen A., I was lucky to get to see that live, your sit-down interview with Tom Brady. Excellent on both ends, and that full interview is
Screw Tom Brady.
Going to air on the Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube later today. All right, let's dive in. Was this a bad...
So if you've been under a rock, Daniel Jones in his first preseason game back after his ACL tear, his first game back in about 10 months of live action, played in the Texans preseason game, and he threw a horrible pick 6, and he threw another interception to Stingley, and the whole world is back on the Daniel Jones' awful train, and people are panicking and people are making jokes about Daniel Jones again. But what else is new?
Bad game or a bad sign for Danny Dimes?
Both. It was kind of embarrassing, fellas, how Brian Dable tried to paint it. Well, you know, as the game progressed, he got better. Well, guess what? You know, it's a preseason game, all right? If it's a regular season.
So you're going to criticize Brian Dable for having his quarterbacks back, and he did progress in that game. He actually played pretty well after those 2 interceptions. But you say, oh, it's a preseason game. But then if somebody like Caleb Williams, who's playing against 2s and 3s in the preseason, oh, he's killing it. He only went 10 for 20, 50% pass completion percentage. But he's killing it. J.J. McCarthy throws a couple of touchdowns against the 3s. He's killing it. You know, Drake May throws an incomplete pass, and he's the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? People like Jordan Love throwing multiple interceptions in a game. That it doesn't matter. It's preseason. But when it's Daniel Jones, the whole world ends. It's kind of crazy, man.
Game and you threw those picks, you'd be out of commission. You'd lose the game. And so you look at Daniel Jones. I mean, we have to take into account the totality of his situation. Saquon Barkley didn't get his money because they gave it to Daniel Jones. They invested.
That's a lie, because Daniel Jones got his money, but Andrew Thomas got paid. Dexter Lawrence got paid. Other people were paid. They brought in Brian Burns, and he got paid. So that's an absolute false. And it's like the media paints these storylines to make their points better. People forget that they offered Saquon Barkley money before Daniel Jones. But to make the Daniel Jones narrative stronger, you say, oh, Saquon Barkley didn't get paid because of Daniel Jones. That's an absolute lie. This is why the Big Blue Crew Sports Network was created, to tell truths and not to paint false narratives. That's a false narrative. Not only before Daniel Jones got paid, they offered Saquon Barkley money. They offered Saquon Barkley good money after Daniel Jones got paid. But continue to paint your false narratives.
Daniel Jones instead of investing in their best player. We understand he plays the quarterback position. It comes with a different responsibility. It's the most important position on the field, some would say. And as a result, that's why they did it. But nevertheless, it is what it is. Last year, the New York Giants offense ranked 29th. They ranked 30th in points, 30th in third downs, 31st in red zone touchdown efficiency.
Now, they say all that like that's all on Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones only played 4.5 to 5 games in the 17-game season. Maybe those numbers were like that because Daniel Jones wasn't playing.
They are awful. The only thing we're going to be talking about with Brian Dable's New York Giants this year is the fact that he looks good because he lost so much damn weight. That's about it. There's nothing to write at home about the New York Giants. They are.
So there's nothing about to write about Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau on the defensive line. There's nothing to write about that. There's nothing to write about Bobby Okereke being one of the better linebackers in the league. There's nothing to write about Andrew Thomas being one of the best left tackles in the league. There's nothing to write about him. Okay.
Are just not going to be impressive. Since picking Daniel Jones, 6th overall in 2019, the Giants are tied for the 4th worst record in the National Football League, winning just 35% of their games with one playoff appearance in 5 years. And this guy had the lowest interception percentage in the NFL at 1.1% last year. You know why? Because ain't nobody thinking about him throwing a football. He's one of those quarterbacks you just...
So he has the lowest interception percentage because nobody's worried about him throwing the football. What about the season of 2022 when he only threw, 5 interceptions? So if he's that bad, why is he not throwing more interceptions than he's throwing? These are some of the things you got to think about. That's dumb. Nobody's worried about him throwing the ball. That's why he has the least interception percentage. Okay.
Just want to do what you can to prevent him from throwing the damn football because you're waiting for a mistake to happen. I hate to say that about him because he seems like such a nice guy, but there is no progress that's been made with Daniel Jones as your quarterback. It's a bad game, and it's a bad sign because the Giants are going to have a bad season, period.
So you base all that off of one preseason game. All that is based off one preseason game. Oh, there's nothing else to talk about, but Malik Neighbors is nothing to talk about either. Okay. So you base the Giants having a horrible season off one preseason game, to where if it was the ones on the team, the score would have been 14-10 at halftime. You know what I'm saying? This is what these guys do to your New York Giants team. And for the negative detractors of this team, you allow them to do it because you agree with every little thing that they say like it's the gospel. There's nothing to talk about the New York Giants except for Brian Daboll losing weight. Like we don't have Deonte Banks. Like we don't have Dexter Lawrence. Like we don't have Chapman that's balling out. Like we don't have Brian Burns. Like we don't have Kayvon Thibodeau. Like we don't have Andrew Thomas. Like we don't have Malik Neighbors. Get out of here, bro.
And
Stephen A., I think the thing is, for when you look at it, we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, it's not a singular act, it's a habit. So have we seen more plays like this, or have we seen more touchdown plays from Daniel Jones? You see, the job of a quarterback is not to make a bad situation worse. I think a lot of Danny, you could.
That is true. But you guys act like he has more turnovers than touchdowns in his career. That's not true. He's thrown way more touchdown passes than he's thrown interceptions. And in the past 2 years, he's only thrown 11 interceptions, and 5 of those weren't even his fault. He hasn't had a huge turnover season since his rookie year, basically. But everybody wants to just say, oh, he's just going to turn over the ball. Like, no other quarterback makes mistakes. No other quarterback has thrown a pick six near his goal line in their careers. It's just Daniel Jones. It's ridiculous, bro.
Can attest to this. A lot of what a quarterback does, he has to be able to manage chaos. When things are getting hectic, when things are going haywire, he needs to be the calm. He needs to be the voice of reason. He needs to be the stabilizer that's on the field. You're going down. Okay, if you get sacked in the end zone, you intentional grounded, that's only 2 points. You throw a pick six, that's 6 points. Now they're going to come on, tack on the field goal. So now, the PAT, now you're down 7-0. And then you follow that up. More times than not, if you throw pick sixes, more times than not, when quarterbacks throw pick sixes, the team lose. Go look at the percentage of you throw a pick six, you winning that game versus you losing that game. Daniel Jones, this is who he is. He parlayed that half a good season in which they went to the playoffs, they won a playoff game, into a $40 million, 4-year, $160 million contract. Their best player was Saquon. But they didn't value the running back position. They put their eggs in one basket, which is Daniel Jones. And now you're praying. You're hoping you don't trip on the way to the market and crack all your eggs. Now, they have an outstanding talent outside, Malik Nabers. He's phenomenal. But I'm not so sure that we're going to be able to see him maximize what he can do, considering who's throwing him the football.
So, Malik Nabers in that game had 4 catches for 54 yards. In the first half. So he was on pace for 8 catches, 108 yards in that game. So even with Daniel Jones throwing him the football, like you guys say, who's throwing him the ball, he would have 8 catches and 108 yards based on if you go by the averages, because he had 4 catches for 54 yards in the first half. If you can sit there and believe that Malik Nabers can't get the ball because Daniel Jones is the quarterback, you're fooling yourself. Now, could he get better stats with another quarterback in another system? Maybe he can. But to sit there and act like Malik Nabers is not going to be able to do anything because Daniel Jones is throwing the ball, that's false. And he would have had even more yards in the first half if he wasn't pass interfered with Stingley on that catch when he was trying to catch it with one hand because he had his arm grabbed and there was no penalty. And guess what? If that doesn't happen, we might score points on that first drive because that would have been a big play. So you can miss me with that Malik Nabers is not going to get the ball because Daniel Jones is the quarterback. That's BS. Every great receiver that you know gets good stats no matter who the quarterback is. T.O. Ball with Jeff Garcia. Name the quarterbacks in Houston with DeAndre Hopkins. Name all the quarterbacks Mike Evans played with before Tom Brady. Name the quarterbacks Andre Johnson played with. And he's a Hall of Famer. Hell, even you, Shannon Sharp, put up stats with Trent Dilfer. Because when you're that dude, that receiver, you're just that dude. Point blank, period. But it is what it is, man.
This is who Daniel Jones is, because since he's been in New York, this is what we've repeatedly seen him do.
Shannon, that's exactly why I did what I did like 16 years ago. And just took the 2 points and not throwing the pick six.
Get the heck out of here, bro. You did that because you didn't know where the hell you were on the field. Stop the BS. Stop the BS, Dan Orlovsky. And you're on note praising Daniel Jones 1 minute and then bashing him the next minute when it's good to bash him. All you guys do is ride the wave, bro. But get the hell out of here, dude. You had that safety on that play because you didn't know where you were, and your instincts are way worse than what Daniel Jones was. 0-16. That's all I got to say.
It's because I saw the math
Really?
difference. So that's why I made that decision, just to make sure. Yeah.
So in other words, when you ran out of bounds, you didn't run out of bounds to take the safety. Yeah, I mean, you ran out of bounds to take the safety. You were not. You were completely aware of the fact that you were out of bounds.
Math guy.
You were completely aware.
Yeah.
Exactly, Stephen A.
Math guy. 1, worst case scenario for the Giants. 2, worst performance of the preseason. Okay? The highs aren't high enough to continue to have these lows show up.
How many times have you seen? How many pick sixes has Daniel Jones thrown in his career? Like, how many pick sixes has Daniel Jones thrown in his career? What, 3, 4? I've seen quarterbacks throw 2 to 3 pick sixes in one game. So you mean to tell me a dude that makes plays like that pick six constantly gets a contract in the NFL? And not just a contract, a $40 million a year contract. A dude that's just a goofball in an ignoramus throwing the football like that constantly. Not only has a starting job in the NFL, not only got a contract, but got a $40 million contract. A dude that's making plays like that constantly. Gets the keys to a franchise? So what are you saying about the whole Giants franchise then? You're saying Brian Daboll's a dummy, Joe Shane's a dummy, Mara's a dummy, the whole organization is just a bunch of idiots that thinks that a guy that's just constantly throwing pick sixes his whole career is going to get a lucrative contract? Make it make sense, man.
And that's the problem for Daniel Jones in the Giants. Daniel Jones has been 2 things ever since he was a prospect coming out of school and his time with the Giants. Stephen A., I agree with you. He's a great human being by all accounts that we know of. 1, too deliberate with the ball. He's too obvious with what he's doing. First play should have been a pick 6 to Stingley.
That's
he just
right.
dropped it. And then that pick 6 interception, Daniel's always panicked with the ball. And I know that's the fine line, Shannon. You know this of like, what makes this a first play? Stingley could add another one. He just dropped it. And the pick 6 that actually happens, he gets in those moments, and for as smart of a human being that he kind of comes across as, the decision of like, dude, just throw the ball in the ground.
That is absolutely true. But to sit here to act like Daniel Jones throws balls like that to Stingley consistently, that dude will have over 100 interceptions. And let's mention another thing that he's played with throughout his career, going into college and going to the pros. He hasn't had weapons around him his whole career, bro. And you can sit here and say, oh, that's an excuse. No, that's just a fact. You can't name one receiver he played with at Duke. You can't name one offensive lineman he played with at Duke. You can't name one running back that he played with at Duke. This is a dude that's played with David Seals, Marcus Johnson, Benny Fowler, Lattimore, C.J. Board, Richie James, Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay. Golden Tate was his best receiver besides Slayton. Caden Smith, Chris Myrick, Kyle Rudolph, Dante Pettis. You got to have people around you to put numbers that you think that a quarterback should put up. Does Daniel Jones make mistakes? Yes. Is he on the caliber of those top quarterbacks? No, but you don't need to be that type of quarterback to win games. Hell, your partner on the show can tell you that. You won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. Who was Trent Dilfer? And let's get it right. Elway didn't win a Super Bowl until Terrell Davis came over there. The Broncos was running for 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. You need help around you, bro.
Just throw right when he makes that first pump fake here. Just throw it in the ground there. Plays dead. But he's like that panic sets in and then
Yeah,
the pick six.
right, yes.
Yeah, so like, and I'm trying to be fair with the vantage point of it's his first time playing since the ACL, and I get all that.
Exactly. Does that excuse that play? No. But you're not going to be top notch when you're coming back off a 9-month layoff. And that second pick was not that egregious. Quarterbacks throw picks like that every game. Great play by Stingley. Should he throw it a little bit higher into the outside? Yes. You could pin that on him, but it's not like act like that was just one of the most horrible throws you've ever seen. I can't wait for this season to start to see exactly if Daniel Jones can make these guys flip-flop again. Because all they're doing is riding the wave. When you saw him at training camp throwing them elite neighbors, the Daniel Jones contract might be a steal. Now he plays one game, Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the NFL again. These people just ride a wave. They don't really give you real content, real analysis. It's just all narrative based. And that's what we don't do here on the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, man. And basically, this is why the Big Blue Crew Sports Network was created. Because I'm tired of narrative-based analysis from narrative-based media people. Tired of it. But Daniel Jones did not play well in that very first preseason game. That is very true. Let's see what he does in the next preseason game if he plays, and let's get to the regular season and let's see what he does, and then let's start making the evaluation of Daniel Jones. Is this his last year with the New York Giants, or can the Giants move forward with Daniel Jones? But to sit here and base all this just off one preseason game, one half of a preseason game, 2 quarters. I got you. Daniel Jones can't have a bad pass. Daniel Jones can't throw an interception. Daniel Jones can't have a fumble. Daniel Jones can't get sacked. Daniel Jones can't be late on the throw. Daniel Jones can't have a game under 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I get it. But here's my moniker this year. I appreciate the hate. I know how you feel. Thank you for your support. Now we're going to move on. Can we talk about something else? But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that big blue join button, and talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk and join the Big Blue Crew. Go cop you some merch. I'm not going to tell y'all again. Go cop you some merch. The New York Giants full access merch is in the Big Pat Sports shop. So go get you a shirt, a hoodie, a hat, whatever you're going to get. Let me know so I can give you a shout out right here on this channel on New York Giants full access. And go subscribe to the new YouTube channel, the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. The link will be in the chat and in the description of the video. And until the next episode, you know what it is, man. Peace. This has been a Big Blue Crew Sports Network production.